Hi, good morning, everyone. We will start in a few minutes. Allow a few more minutes for the others to join in. I put the timer here, so we'll start in roughly 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah. All right. So I think my voice was muted for a while. Okay. So just I wanted to brief again. We are a Fortune 500 company. That means all the companies put together in the entire world, every field, every business, all the companies in the world put together, and every continent. It could be entire Asia, entire North America, entire South Africa, entire Russia, all the entire world, the total companies put together. There is this top 500 list. So we are in the top 500 list because of our revenue. We generate over 40 plus $billion. We are also a group company, which means we have multiple businesses under the brand name Hanwa. One of the business which is into CCTV or security is Hanwha Vision. Okay. Now our ranking is roughly 306. Compared to other businesses in this CCTV field, you would have heard of Schneider, you would have heard of Honeywell, Canon, which owns Axis and Milestone. So if you compare with our peers in the CCTV industry, we are a much a sizable business in terms of the company size and revenue. Okay. Next, we are also a global company. So we have offices in different parts, uh, and I have highlighted here the major or the I would say the main head offices in different continents. So we have some of the major head offices in US, Europe, of course, our South Korea, and Middle East, Vietnam, and so on. Now, inside Middle East, we have offices in Saudi, we have Qatar, and other offices. But the main office, as you see, the representation office for Middle East is based in Dubai. Okay. Now, the benefit is we have team locally present to help you with your estimations, to help you with your project commissioning, to help you with the designs, trainings, support, service, and so on. So not only that, to meet the local regulatory requirements, some countries, some cities require certain standards, certain laws that need to be complied. For that, the camera may need an extra feature, or the camera may need certain, or the VMS may need some customization. We are able to achieve that. It could be temperature rating, it could be an additional network port, it could be an additional certification, environmental certificate. So whatever is said and done, that is achieved because of the local team's presence, and they raise the request on your behalf and make sure that the product complies when it is sold to you. Okay. Then, okay. Now, covering our different businesses under the big brand Hanwha is aerospace division, aerospace and defense. And just key points here is we manufacture components related to the aerospace in jet engines, and for defense aircrafts. We make military vehicles, which is part of the defense division. We are also into chemical and materials. We make raw materials for using in finished products. So it's not the finished product, it's the raw materials for the finished product. And in many of the raw materials, we are in the global top suppliers. Okay. Then certain polymers, certain carbon materials, certain chemical compounds, we are in the global top suppliers. Then we have some presence in the construction division. In Korea and Saudi, we have a construction division. They help the design and construction of refinery plants, desalination plant, just traditional stadium buildings, or construction of general residential or shopping malls and so on. So that is one division. Next is solar. In the US and other regions, we are in the top ranking when it comes to our solar panels. We manufacture everything in the solar industry, from the starting raw materials to the finished solar cell panels. Okay. Next, we are into finance and yeah, life insurance and so on. Then also retail. We have hotels and other retail shops in South Korea, theme parks and so on. So overall, we are diversified business, and the CCTV comes under the used to be under the aerospace and defense. Okay. Now focusing on the CCTV division, the company name is Hanwha Vision, which is manufacturing or responsible for the development and manufacturing of the security equipment. Okay, we are natively South Korean, just to emphasize once again on this fact. Next, we are a 30-year-old company. Okay, you may have heard of the company maybe a few years back, but as a company, we are over 30 years in the business of security, CCTV. Originally, it started as Samsung. So our office was originally owned by Samsung. So this is our head office based in South Korea. However, in the year 2015, Hanwha Group acquired the security business from uh, Samsung. Okay. Then further than that, you will see multiple products have been released. Every product that we will talk about today is after the acquisition. We have released new multiple lines of camera series. It was only one series before called S series. Now we have over 4 to 5 series of cameras. We have artificial intelligence launched 3 years back. We have some of the camera lenses are only very unique to our brand. We have one of the highest level of cybersecurity certifications. We have won multiple performance awards. We have also received, you know, many projects with our new technology that was developed in the recent 5 6 years. uh, Example, Abu Dhabi city surveillance and mosque surveillance with 18,000 cameras. Bank of America, the entire all the branches in the entire North America. Then multiple banks in Saudi Arabia. All this because of product features, new technologies, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity. All this contributed for the recent project awards. And of course, product quality. Okay, we'll come to that later on. Okay, so currently there is a new change in the company name. We were called Hanwha Techwin before. Right now it's called Hanwha Vision. Okay, because of our company's vision to provide a solution oriented system, rather than just we manufacture cameras, rather than just we manufacture recorders, but how does it provide a solution at the end of the day to the customer. This is what we are focusing. One second. Huh? Someone else. All right. Okay, some key highlights here. World's first 55x PTZ camera. Then we've launched recently audio system, and you would have seen the Wisenet 7 chipset, launch of AI cameras. You're hearing about AI now, but over 3 years back itself, we have already launched the AI product. Yes, it is catching popularity, and we have many more interesting news in the AI. I will come to that as well. Then we have launched IP speaker system, which is also new in our product profile. Okay, now to summarize, I am working for Hanwha Vision. Okay, the company that I work for is Hanwha Vision. It is owned, or it's a subsidiary of the parent group Hanwha. All right. Now, Hanwha Vision manufactures the CCTV security product, and that name, the branding, the signature name for that products is Wisenet. right? How do you relate? Samsung makes mobile phones, right? It is referred as Galaxy series. Same way, Wisenet is our signature brand name for the CCTV and security products. Now, just like your mobile phones, you have different Galaxy series, Galaxy Tab, Galaxy Note, Galaxy S20, and so on. We have different series under the Wisenet branding. Okay, X series, Q series, P series, all the series is coming from the same factory, but the number of features, number of analytics will be slightly different. Okay, you will have a tab which will have bigger screen size. Same way, we will have cameras with more than one sensor, four sensors. Okay, you will have a phone with the stylus, with a pen. Same way, we have the X series which and P series which provides features that only advanced users require. Then you have the standard phone that we have in the Q series, which is required for most projects. Almost everybody require that basic or with a good featured camera or a phone. You would go with the Q series. The Q series itself is the entry line, but it has six analytics. It has option of artificial intelligence also. So having said that, our product line is a very rich line, and the fact is we make our own, we invest in our own chipset. Okay, so looking at chipset, the main brain of the camera, we invest and we develop our own chipset, right? So um, this gives us the advantage to uh, have a good cost control as well as provide as many features as possible within that maximum feature available within that chipset capability. For example, Wisenet 5 chipset is providing 15 plus analytics. It's on the chipset. That means you don't have to pay extra fees, analytic licenses, nothing required with our VMS or third party VMS, nothing required. Wisenet 7, you can add now artificial intelligence. Now, because we make our own chipset, we don't depend on someone else's technology to develop it or someone else's factory to manufacture it. We are able to provide the best solution for our customers and the best value. All right. That's why you would find uh, you'll find cameras which may look the same pricing, but they are able to give you very high level of analytics because we are able to manufacture our own product with a better cost. Okay, next, let's just look at a few project references that I talked about. Abu Dhabi city surveillance, 18,000 camera. Some projects in Dubai I'm covering. That's where I'm based in. So I have a few references here. We have some major references in the Middle East, so I'm going to cover that. Expo 2020, which was recently completed, 9,000 cameras. Then Blue Water, again a new property that's opened in UAE. It's called the it's a copy of London Eye. You can say Dubai Eye with 5,500 cameras. Then DP World Ports. We have major references for ports, and most of the projects that I'm talking about was not a one-time order. It was placed in different phases, and they are a continuous loyal customer. That's why I said product quality is also one of our key features, or you can say it's not written on the data sheet, but is tangible. It's something that the customers will experience when they purchase our product. Okay, so most of our customers are recurring customers, and that benefit will also come back to you because they would come back to you for additional projects with the same products, and they would say, I don't have any headache after installing Wisenet cameras, so let me go forward and use the same for other projects. Then of course we have public commercial buildings. We have banks, Bank Al Jazeera, 4,500 cameras, government offices, uh, palaces, which is royals. Uh, in Middle East there are many royals, Saudi palaces, Dubai palace. In Kuwait, this is Kuwait palace. So we have many palaces also, and that's where they buy. There is no cost in mind. They just buy the best product in the market. Next, metro stations. Then Arab National Bank, 18,000 cameras. Then we have the entire downtown city of Qatar, Musharraf, 10,000 cameras. Then, of course, lots of hotels, St. Regis, Wadba, all these are recently commissioned hotels. Okay, all right. Now let's dive into the first core content of today's training. On the pre-sales part, we talk about camera technologies that is available. Okay, so I will start with WDR. Excuse me. Okay, so WDR. Fine. Everyone is aware of WDR. What's the big deal? You might think. A WDR simply brings together two images and combines them to give one single optimized image. Why would it take two pictures? Because a no WDR or a non WDR camera or a camera without WDR can only do a single exposure. It can open its eye and capture the photo or close, not close completely, but you know, when you look at the sun, your eyes are closing a bit, right? So lesser exposure, or it can take in less exposure. It cannot do both at the same time. That's why you need a WDR camera. A WDR camera takes two at the same time, like within a fraction of a second, in milliseconds, and it will combine these two pictures and give you a single picture which you can see the person clearly and the background clearly. Whereas if you don't have WDR, you can see the person but not the background, or you can see the background but not the person. So this is a non-WDR camera. Fine. This is a traditional WDR system. Almost every brand does the same method. You need a good processor to do it, because imagine when you do WDR for half mega, it's very simple, small image. When you do for 2 mega, it's quite common. But when you go for 4K, 5 megapixel, you need a good processor to do it. That's why if you go back, rewind 3 years back, even 5 years back, we had WDR in 5 megapixel and 4K. Many European and American brands did not have it because they were waiting for the new chipset to develop from someone else. We had our own chipset, so we already implemented it on our camera. Okay, now back to the point. So WDR is merging of two frames. That's fine. Now how we have enhanced it is we have added additional technologies that provide the image as good as a movie, as good as you watch movies, right? The image reproduction is much better. Now this first picture, there is actually a window at the back, a lot of sunlight coming in, but inside the office the lighting is not that great, it's less. So compared to outside, inside or the office, the lighting is less. So now the when the camera takes these frames, captures this frame, what is the level of dynamic range that need to be applied? Okay, dynamic range is measured in, let me go to the next slide. Dynamic range is measured in decibels, 120, 130, 140. Higher the dynamic range, higher the difference in lighting. Too bright scene at the background and very dark scene in the front. Okay, imagine a hotel entrance. When you enter the hotel, the interior lighting is very calm and soothing. It's very dark, but outside there is sunlight. So another example, I think hotel entrance. I think this picture might do some justice to explain my point. So you can see that when the person enters the hotel, inside lighting is not very high compared to the outside sunlight. Okay, so when you have a very high contrast, you need high WDR. So what level of contrast is there? The camera automatically determines it on the go for every frame that it captures. Okay, dynamic range management. It will not fix the dynamic range and then only focus on achieving that. It will keep on adjusting every frame, so the image is much more richer. Tone mapping. Okay, now the level of sunlight, it will be different in my place, it will be different in your country, it will be different even in the building facing the sun. The sunlight will be different, the opposite, the other entrance, the sunlight will be different. So how do you map that brightness on the screen? How do you map that? you know we cannot show the entire brightness of the sun on the monitor screen, right? Because this background, that light that you see, it's bright, but this is not the full sunlight. Nobody can see the full sunlight on a screen, so even the screen cannot reproduce it. So we have to do some level of mapping. Mapping means what? So if your sunlight is 100,000 lux, 100,000 light intensity level, we will map it according to what a human eye can see. We will try to map it and give you that same feeling, same effect, and then map the other the scene, rest of the scene, in accordance to that. So that's why your image is overall, balanced and rich. You don't see too much brightness, you don't see too dark. You will see an overall balanced image. You can even see shadows, details of the shadows, details of the grass. You can see details of the person much more clearly. Okay, so this is now possible with the newer chipset, with our camera. So that's something that you will notice immediately when you start using our camera. Next is WDR level itself. In the 2 megapixel range, we have achieved up to 150 dB. That means it can handle a very high contrast scenes. Okay, and all our cameras are WDR. All our cameras are at least 120 dB true WDR. Okay, some of them can do 150 dB. Next is artificial intelligence. Simply put, everybody talks about AI. It's very clearly understood. AI has some benefits, but there are different um, points that customers or vendors use and can be misleading. Okay, simply put, the vendors are also in a rush to provide artificial intelligence. They want to sell the word artificial intelligence, but they don't have the R&D power to do it. Okay, we have seen many vendors do this by calling their cameras, by upgrading their software. They call it AI camera, but it's the same camera analytics. It's not using the AI engine. Okay, there is one nice trick called machine learning. You can, it's your existing analytics itself, you can call it machine learning. Okay, because we set the rules how the camera should detect and how the camera should trigger the alarm. That is machine learning. We trained and the machine learned, and it detected. So almost every camera today you can call it machine learning, but a real artificial intelligence camera is deep learning. Okay, camera making the decisions and also deciding and learning by itself, right? It's like a human brain. Okay, how does it work? So when we train the camera, we say a person should be 6 feet or 5 feet height. Okay, he should be at least 1.6 meters. It's a person. That is what is machine learning. So you train the camera, you said a person should be at least 1.6 meters. But what if you look at a child? What you're going to do? Is it a person? No. What if there is a car or a truck which is having that height, 1.6 meter? It will think it is also a person. All right. Okay, what if the tree branch, it is moving, it is having the same height of a person? Okay, so that can confuse a camera and call it a person. It might think it's a person. Or worst case, let's say you are training the camera, you put many conditions. For example, you say a person will be 1.6 meter, but his width will be less, he will have some hands and legs and so on. You are training. Okay, now still you're using machine learning. What if the person is crawling? Okay, what if the person is hiding behind the tree? Only his face is visible. He doesn't have legs and hands. So according to the camera, it is not meeting the criteria. It is called AI camera, but it is based on machine learning. It will not detect because based on your information, he should have hands, legs, feet. It is not there because he's hiding behind a tree or he's crawling. Okay, so that's why you need deep learning. Deep learning is you don't give conditions like this and that. Camera will learn by itself based on the objects that we show. What we do is in front of the camera, we show pictures of thousands of photos of human beings, different gender, different race, and different height, and also different types. For example, hiding behind tree, this and that. We just show different photos of persons walking towards the camera, behind the camera, side of the camera. We show different angles of the people. The camera learns by itself. Okay, this is the different types and behaviors, characteristics of a human being. Once it's learned, after that, just like us, once we know, okay, this is a person, it doesn't matter how he looks, which color skin, which color dress, whether he's covering himself with putting a mask, you know it's a person because even if you cannot see the face, you can see the hands and legs, you know it's a person. If you cannot see the hands and legs, you see the face, you know it's a person. Even if you look at the person from behind, you know it's a person, even though you don't see eyes and nose. So that's how the machine learning works. Just like a human being, it is able to clearly detect who the person is, who is not a person. Second point, you see here the tree moving, it is ignoring all this unnecessary movement. It doesn't trigger any alarm itself. This tree moving, it is a nuisance alarm. So deep learning AI is very, very effective in this case. So here on, you can see this video. See, the person, there is a person walking. Don't focus on the bottom, just focus on the top. There is a person walking and there is a robotic arm moving. Okay, a normal camera will think, oh, the robotic arm is motion detected, person motion detected, but AI camera ignores the robotic arm, only focuses on the person. Second thing, here you can see rain. Raindrop can create motion alarm. AI camera ignores it. Then here, shadows is causing some change in the scene, it will create motion detection, but AI camera will ignore it. Okay, so this is the benefit of AI camera, and you can see one video here, and that explains the power of it. So even behind the tree, it is detecting the car. Even if it cannot see the full car, it is capturing the car, it is capturing the color of the car, it is capturing the object, number plate, person. There is a person standing here, it is able to capture all of this. Even we can miss it, but the camera is able to capture it. Okay, so that's the benefit of AI. Higher the resolution, even better, because you can see more details. It will even capture them clearly. Okay. Okay. Now this is possible with AI deep learning camera. Who's a car? Who's a person? And what is the type of car? Saloon car, truck, or bicycle? What is the color of the car? It can pick up all these details. How does it help? You can do an investigation tomorrow. Someone says, hey, there's a car which hit me and I don't remember the number plate and I think it's a blue color saloon car. What you do is you just or a black color saloon car, you just go to that timeline, that particular area, drag the camera and you say, okay, I'm looking for a vehicle and I'm looking for a sedan car which is black color, show me all the cars. Then he will tell you, yeah, this is the car, this is the incident that happened. You don't have to worry too much about doing multiple you don't have to do playback, forward, check, pause. You don't have to do all that. It's very easy to do investigation. Same way you want to find a person uh, this in the room, there is a person who took my something, let's say my coffee cup. So you can search for the person in the scene and you can say I'm looking for a male wearing a red color shirt. It will show all the photos. You select, video will play on the right side. Make life easier for your operators. Investigations, your also detection, uh, evidence search, and so on. Okay. Later on, you can also create alarms. I've done the search in Milestone Genetic. It is intercompatible. Yeah, no need to worry. Will it work with that camera, with that VMS? It's intercompatible. Our camera will work with other VMS as well. You can also set rules. Let's say you're a traffic, you're going to set traffic rules. No vehicles allowed. This is a pedestrian area. No cycling allowed. There is a separate cycle track. You can put an area and you draw a line and you say, in this line, if any vehicle is crossing, give me an alarm, right? If a person is crossing, ignore it, no problem. So you can even put that level of details in the analytics. Only if a car is crossing, you can even select, um, maybe this is cycling area, but cars are not allowed. You can select the type of object. Okay. You can even customize to that level. So bicycle crossed, you got alarm. So, and the best part is you can draw 8 lines. I have drawn one line. You can draw on the road, you can draw here, you can draw there, you can draw multiple lines from one camera. So this is the difference you will see when you buy Hanwha camera. It's not just, okay, we have the analytic, only one feature you can activate at a time. Nothing like that. Every feature in the camera, all of them, 100% you can activate. There is 15 analytics, all 15 you can activate. Each analytics you will find 8 lines, 8 zones, all of them you can activate. On top of that, some cameras support additional third-party analytics also. You can even activate that. So our camera processor is powerful enough to handle what we mentioned on the datasheet for the number of analytics. Here is a simple zone. I have said car is not allowed. Oh, sorry. Car is allowed, but person is not allowed. So when a car is crossing, it doesn't create any alarm. But when a person is walking through, it simply creates an alarm. Okay. All right. Now let's focus on the next point. Wise string. Wise string. What is wise string? Wise string technology is our own technology in the camera. When there is no moving objects, no objects of interest in the scene, the camera will reduce the bandwidth. Okay, it does not stop recording. You can make it to record, no problem, but it will reduce the bandwidth. So currently there is no object in the scene. This camera supposed to be giving 4 Mbps is only using zero point 0.1 Mbps. zero point 0.1, almost 90% reduction, 90 above reduction in the bandwidth. Okay, this is a 6 megapixel camera and you can see the bandwidth is zero point 0.1 Mbps because there is no objects in the scene. But when there is a person walking in, automatically it will increase the bandwidth. It will increase to 2 Mbps because there are person in the scene or any car in the scene. Yes. So this technology is very, very powerful because you can really, you don't have to do motion recording. You can do recording continuously, right? And still you will not be using a lot of bandwidth. You can use this in outdoor scene, indoor scene. Uh, you can use this and save a lot on your bandwidth. Okay, so I have a question. In a crowded station, see, for crowded stations, if it is operating 24 hours, you would go with low. Yeah, you will go with low Y stream. Or for to be on the safer side, if it is yeah, crowded is fine. You can go with low. because there is of course 10% of the day at least you will have some level of zero activity. So 1 or 2 hours there will be no activity. So you can easily go with low. But if this train stops coming after night time, after midnight there is no trains. So I have a question here. Can I use it in the train station? If there is no operation after midnight, then you can keep it Y stream as 50% medium. Okay, medium or even high you can keep. It's okay. But if it is a 24 hours operation, then you can go, when you do storage calculation, you can say, I'm expecting a low Y stream setting. So yeah, you can set Y stream medium, low, and high. Next, X plus modular structure. X plus modular structure. Now, this is some part of our cameras, some group of cameras, we have identified that certain customers, they want a long term solution in a way that they will for example, let's say metro stations or exhibition halls or public properties, when they make a hole drilling in the ceiling, uh, and tomorrow let's say the camera is fixed and tomorrow the camera is faulty and they want to replace after 5 years, they want to upgrade to a new model. This, the new model camera might be bigger in size or smaller in size, but the ceiling is already drilled. So we have a feature for those type of customers called X plus modular structure, where the base and the back body, everything is already fixed for, you can say, life. Only the dome drive is separately attached. So you can attach tomorrow with the AI camera with the same back body. So the customer bought 2 megapixel today. After 5 years, he wants to do 4K. He doesn't have to change anything. It's a magnet module. Just remove that and snap a new camera module inside, and it's like changing SD card, right? So it's something like that. Okay. Back in the day, we had PCs. We used to buy new modems. We used to buy new graphics card. We used to change the hard disk, something like that. You can, it's a modular camera. You can change that dome drive and keep the rest of the camera for your project. Now, this you have to also keep in mind only for customers where aesthetics is also important, right? If it aesthetics in the sense, it's a museum. They don't want to keep drilling. It's a mosque. Historical buildings. You don't want to keep drilling every time if they change the cameras and so on, or a lift. So those kind of installations, you can consider these products. They will really help. Also, public walkways and so on. Okay. Then there are cameras with features called PTRZ, pan tilt rotate zoom. PTZ camera is pan tilt zoom. This guy can rotate the lens. Okay, by the way, this is not a full PTZ camera. It's a normal, typical dome camera, which looks just like this. It's a normal dome camera. But again, it is to help with the installation. You install the camera in a very high ceiling, and the customer or the consultant, they comes and says, the camera angle, please adjust. Then you will hire a lift. You will put a barricade and you will put a lift and you will go up the ceiling and change the lens. Again, he will come tomorrow and say, can you change it? So for those kind of installations, very high ceiling, we have a normal dome camera with an extra motor. Okay, it's a slow motor. It's not a PTZ camera. It goes like very fast. Only for adjustment purpose. You can completely control the dome camera. Left, right, up, down, even rotate the lens. Why? It helps your cost again. If you hire a man lift, you have to put a safety kit. You have to hire robotic arm. Somebody has to stand on it, go up the ceiling, adjust the camera, come down. 2 hours, 3 hours it takes. You can do only in the night time and things like that. A lot of headache. So those kind of installations where the camera is in a weird location, very high location, you can consider a feature called PTRZ feature in the camera. I will tell you how to select it when we do the selection in the today. I will explain that as well. Lastly, all our cameras, okay, not point, not all cameras from after Q series, not Q, above Q series onwards, you will find cameras have USB dongle support. You can plug a Wi-Fi dongle, and from the mobile phone, he can adjust the view. So this is for installer, not a Wi-Fi camera, just for installation purpose. We have this application, and he doesn't have to carry a laptop or call somebody. Okay, and majority of the cameras have dual SD cards. So we give you slightly above the standard requirement, but not many people use it often, but it is available. All right, so having said that, these are some of the key features. In addition to, of course, product quality, we do multiple tests that help with the camera drop test, vibration test, water test, color reproduction test. All this we do, of course, when you go to, or if you get a chance to go there, you can see it in the factory. All right, so going to the last parts of the technology session, uh, our cameras have secure default certification, UL certification, all this related to cybersecurity from the chipset level. Not just a good password. Of course, our cameras, there is no default password. You have to enter the password for the first time. When you buy the camera, you cannot, for example, you cannot go to Google and type default CCTV camera password. If you type, you will find many brands have default camera password. We don't have that. You have to enter the password for the first time, right? 1 2 3 4. All this is not allowed. That is all there. But from the chipset level, we have some extra benefits. Operating system, we have a separate operating system for processing passwords, separate storage for saving the passwords. So it's not the same memory shared for camera application. So it's all kept separately. Booting is secured. That means it checks if somebody injected any unnecessary firmware inside. By default means from the factory state, all the unnecessary settings are locked and closed and disabled, right? So sometimes some vendors have settings that is enabled without your knowledge, that allows them access. Okay, for us, no, it's the other way around. We have disabled features that you don't require when it comes to a third party person accessing the camera, right? Accessing the live view, accessing the settings. So all this, free access is disabled by default. Okay, default password, all that. Okay, we can research more about this secure by default concept. Simply put, by default the camera is in the secure state. If you want, you can turn off certain features, you can activate certain features which may expose the camera, but by default it has been disabled, so you are safe. If something happens, uh, let's say some camera got hacked, and you go to the vendor and he will say, check the manual, so and so page, it is there, why did you not disable it? So we will not tell that, because for us by default any guest access is disabled. you know you have to enable guest access. What is guest access? Anybody without a password can access a camera. But if you go to certain vendors, guest access is enabled by default. Even some American brands have. So anybody with IP address can get the live video. If you put a certain, URL or a certain key, you will get the live video. So all that is disabled by default. Okay. And OnWIF, all our products are OnWIF certified. If we are releasing a product after 6 months, by the time it is released, it will be for surely OnWIF certified. There are some projects we are quoting in advance. So for example, December, we are expecting a new type of camera. We have a datasheet today and model number today, but that will not be listed on OnWIF. Okay, so some customer had asked me recently, uh, we are yet to release a camera in September or November time. Yeah, we have the datasheet ready. It's called preliminary datasheet, but it will be certified as ONWIF when it is released. Okay, so all the models that is released is ONWIF compliant. ONWIF S, ONWIF J, ONWIF T. All the AI cameras have ONWIF M compliance included. Okay, and we are also a part of the ONWIF committee. We write. So, ONWIF specification, ONWIF profile is, it's written by a group of people, right? So one of the member is our own person based in South Korea. So he's part of that committee who writes the specification for ONWIF. All right, so let's take our first break, and then we will continue the next part, which is the core, how to select the camera, what are the different series, how to do storage calculation. Okay, let's resume. So let's begin. So if you have any questions at any point or up to this point, you will see the question section. You can ask any questions anytime. And I'll answer them as we move with the training. Okay. Now we'll focus on the camera series. Camera series. T series, P series, X series, and Q series. There are four major series. Okay. T, P, X, and Q. Now, each series has a certain set of features above the other. For example, Q series has 6 analytics. X has the 6 analytics, but it has some more, total 15 analytics. P also has 15 analytics plus some more related to artificial intelligence. T and P is almost similar. Okay, now we will see the clear differences between the series. This is something you have to learn in today's session. Then, every model number of camera starts with 3 letters, then a bunch of number, and again letter. The first letter tells you which series the camera belongs to. Okay, then the rest of them, we have a nice tool which will do the job. It will select the rest of the numbers for you, but which series to go for, you have to decide. Excuse me. Now, in terms of pricing, Q is more affordable than X is more affordable than P, and P and T is almost in the same range. Okay. Q is more affordable than X is more affordable than P. So in the quiz, if I ask you which is the most affordable series, you have to decide based on this. Why did I mention this particular point? See, if you need a 2 megapixel camera, you can get a 2 megapixel camera from Q series or X or P. If you want a 5 megapixel camera, you can get it from Q. You can find it in X. You can also find it P. So everybody is giving me a 5 megapixel camera. So if there are three companies, one company codes Q, one company codes X, and the other one codes P, of course, the customer who thinks he wants only a 5 megapixel camera, he will go with the guy proposing Q because price wise is fine. Unless and until he knows, okay, why P series is this extra features, unless you explain it to him, he might simply look at the price and decide to go with company 1 which is giving Q series. But if the customer says I need 15 analytics and I need 5 megapixel, then the company quoting Q is not complying. Only the second company or third company complies. So based on that, you have to decide which series is suitable for the customer. Now, uh, there are there is some point. Let's say P series, okay, premium series. Premium series is all mainly known for multi-sensors. Multi-sensor. Any camera which's got more than one sensor falls under P series. Four sensor camera, one body but four different sensors. So you can find here it uses single cable and four cameras, each looking in four directions. It falls under P series. Then panoramic cameras falls under P series as well. Dual sensor falls under P series as well. Okay. Okay. Now P series is mainly known for multi-direction or artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence we will see. P series artificial intelligence camera, they can tell you the car, person, yeah, they can tell you one second, also toolbox. Okay, back to the topic. P series AI camera can tell you type of car, whether it is a truck, whether it's a bus, whether it is sedan car or cycle or motorbike. It can tell you person, uh, but additional stuff it can tell you, such as color of the car, color of the shirt, gender of the person, wearing a mask, wearing a bag, wearing an eyeglass. This is a bit more extra detail than a normal AI camera. That's why it falls under P series. Okay, any AI camera from Hanwha will tell you whether it is a car, truck, bicycle, it's okay. It will tell you there is a person. It will tell you there is a person, that is okay. But gender of the person, color of the shirt, color of the car, that only the P series camera will tell you. The other AI cameras cannot give. X series also has AI camera, but it will not tell you color of the shirt, color of the car. Q also has AI. It will tell you it's a person or a truck or a bicycle, but it cannot tell you the color of the car or the shirt color or pant color. So that extra details only supported in P series AI camera. Okay, now X series is where you'll find almost everything else. Anything else you need in our cameras, you will find in X. For example, we have the X non-AI series, which is the standard cameras with 15 analytics. We will see what is this 15 analytics. I will show a separate slide. We have ATM pinhole cameras, then fisheye camera, low light cameras, uh, X plus. You saw this modular structure, this magnet module. This comes under X plus structure. We call it X plus. So X is a group of subcategories: low light and X plus, standard, non-AI, and so on. Okay, X is also a home to a wide range of PTZ cameras from 4K to 2 megapixel with wiper or without wiper. 4K 30x, 2 mega can go 55x. X is also having another subcategory of AI camera. So non-AI and AI camera. What is AI camera? It can detect person, face, vehicle, license plate, all that is okay, but color is not there. It can detect using deep learning all these objects in the scene. So that is fine, it can be done. Okay, then you have Q series. Q series is your standard typical 2 mega, 4 mega, 5 mega. We will be launching just 1 month to 2 months time frame Q4K also. Q4K AI camera, 5 mega AI camera will also be released within a few months. Data sheets are available, so that also will be shown here. So Q series is currently, let's say, non AI, but in the future it will also have AI similar to X series. Okay, what is it known for? It has six analytics: motion detection, tampering, line crossing, six analytics. X series has got 15 analytics. So we will see what is this 15 and 6 in the table, comparison table. Okay, series summary. First, let's start with X and P series. Very simple. P series is the expensive series. It has AI camera option, can identify colors. X series is the one level lower. It supports 2 mega option, 5 mega, 6K, 6 mega fisheye camera, 4K camera, 150 dB option, IP66, IP67 outdoor rating, IR range up to 50 meters, 70 meters, IR range for PTZ up to 500 meters in nighttime, zero light, it can see up to 500 meters. It has long range camera lenses. Okay, a normal camera will have 3 to 10 mm. But X series, there are some models, not all models, some models, they have 5 to 60 mm lens, long range, 4 to 16 also is there, 9 to 29 mm lens also has been added recently. So all the special lenses you will find in X series. Analytics, um, okay, what are the analytics available in X series? Okay, first, motion detection, any motion in the scene. Tamper detection, if someone is blocking the camera view, tamper detection. Defocus detection, okay. What is defocus? If the camera loses focus, it will detect and send an alarm. Intrusion alarm. Intrusion, if there is an intruder in the scene, it will, or if there is any unwanted activity in the scene, it will trigger an alarm. Virtual line, you draw a line. If anyone is crossing the line, you can customize the direction, you can put scheduling, you can draw 8 lines, you will get an alarm. Enter and exit. Instead of a line, you draw a zone, you draw a box, and if someone is entering the box or leaving the box or leaving the zone, maybe a storeroom area, maybe a parking area, someone is not allowed to park, they enter that area, it will trigger alarm. So all this is available in Q series. X is also having that, plus object removed. Someone removed an object, someone stole the object from the scene, someone moved certain area from the scene. Sound analytics, if you connect a microphone, you can listen to the sound, and if someone is screaming or shouting or a gunshot, it can detect that. Fog detection, shock detection, then artificial intelligence, of course, some models. So X series is having your typical security analytics, plus it also has additional advanced analytics. So if you require this many analytics, go with X. If you require special lens, go with X series. How do you know it is X series? The first model number, the first letter in the model number should start with X. That means you are going to X series, which has all these list of analytics. But okay, you have to check the datasheet to be sure, but overall you will see an X series will have these analytics listed. That if you need IR range more than 30 meter, go to X series. If you are happy with 30-meter IR, it's okay, go with Q series. Okay, if you need ATM camera, stainless steel camera, special housing camera, go with X series. If you're okay with standard housing, dome bullet, go with Q. If you need higher, more than 120 dB WDR, go with X. If you need 120 only, go stick with Q. Now, between X and P, okay, the difference is straightforward. P series, is for multi-sensor camera. P series is for artificial intelligence camera which can give color. X series is also for artificial intelligence, not all models, but it does not give color of the person's shirt or car. So when we search for a car, you can only search for it. But if you use a P series camera, you can search for black color car, red color car. If you're looking for a person wearing red shirt, you need a P series AI camera. If you're looking only for a person and you detect, okay, I want to see which person entered this area, only X series is enough, or Q series AI camera will be enough. But if you want to know specific colors, whether carrying a bag, what is the gender, you go to P series AI camera. Okay, now let us see the toolbox and we'll come to the model selection. Now there are some models which you don't have today. For example, let's say you want, I have a question here. Let's say I want to calculate a 4K camera storage from Q series, but in the storage tool, it's not available because the model is yet to be released. So you can take an equivalent from X series, no problem. Okay, so if you have 34 megapixel camera, which is going to be released and you want to do calculation, you can take an equivalent 30 mega, 32 megapixel from another series. That will work. Okay, or 4 times 4K camera, uh, one 2 megapixel camera is 34 megapixel. So you can consider that way also. Okay, so now, which is our website? When you go to Hanwa, I had actually updated all my PowerPoints, but I might still showing the old company name. Um, I think I didn't save it properly. So our company name is, if you put Hanwa Security in Google, you will see Hanwa. The old website is Hanwa-Security, but the new website is Hanwa Vision. Okay, Hanwa Vision. This is our website. Okay, when you click on that website, it will take you to the Arabic landing page. Just change it to English. Done. After this, again, how did I change? Go to region and you select HQ. HQ means head office, headquarter, English. This is Asia Pacific. Asia, we are in Asia and Pacific regions. They use the main website. The Europe and US, they have different series, some special models, and maybe they have less temperature. We have high operating temperature cameras, so don't go for their website, just go with our HQ website. Our Middle East website is also in progress. It will be completed. We just recently, we had an Arabic version. I think they have just moved it to the English mix Arabic, so just once it's ready, it will be shown here. But 99% of our customers just go to HQ. Okay, let's keep it simple. HQ English. Now once you land on this page, wherever you look, you will find a, a guide to a tool called Toolbox. You see the right side corner, let me show with an arrow. You see here the color is see, Toolbox Plus. This is a very important tool. You have to really know this tool. Okay, in order to storage calculation, model selection, must to know tool. If you go to support, Toolbox Plus. If you go to products, Toolbox Plus, uh, you will find almost wherever you go, you will find a link to Toolbox Plus. This is a very common tool used by all our customers for model selection. Okay, under products, if you want to, you're interested in a camera, it's a product. In the product, you will find under again camera, IP camera. Okay, you can check here as well. Then under products, there is product naming rule. When you click on product naming rule, it will take you to the page where it will explain first letter is P series, X is for X series, second letter is for IP camera, third letter is for the shape of the camera. If it is bullet camera, it is O, dome camera is D, fisheye camera is F. So you may not memorize it now, but eventually you will get the hang of it. Then this is a star. Star means it's optional. Many models don't have this extra letter, so you can forget it. Only for AI camera, you'll see A for AI, C for AI. These are all AI cameras. Then resolution. You will find 6. 6 means not 6 mega. Okay, again, people can be confused. 6 is 2 megapixel. I hope they will change soon. 8 is for 5 megapixel or 6 megapixel. 9 is for 4K. Okay, so we are starting from 1, so that's the issue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is 1 mega, 6 is 2 mega, right? So, but above 4K, the two digits represents the megapixel. 15 mega, 24 is 24 mega, and so on. Okay, next is two digits again. See, this is two digit. If it can be one digit also, 6, done. The next is two digits again, but it is 01, not just 1, 01 or 02. 01 means fixed lens. 08 motorized varifocal lens. 07 varifocal lens. That means you can adjust the lens 2 mm, 5 mm, 6 mm. You can adjust. With a motor is 08. Again, don't have to memorize. Just know these are the options available, and it require two digit. If you are using PTZ camera, for example, 40x PTZ, 40. You just type here 40, XX 40, 32x PTZ 32, 37x PTZ 37, fixed lens 01, motorized lens 08, varifocal lens non-motorized 07. Okay. Next is one digit. Here it may look confusing, but it's actually not that confusing. It's simple. Just start with 0, version 0. If version 0 is not there, go for version 1, then version 2. Higher the version, it's not a replacement. For example, X series 5 megapixel ending with version 0 is your traditional camera. But 5 megapixel ending with version 3 is your AI camera. So same camera looks everything same, but inside processor is different with AI. So the version is 3. So it's not a replacement. Sometimes you will not find 0. Version 0 is not there. Then you go to version 2, version 1, whichever is available. Okay. But unnecessarily don't go with high version because you might be quoting a higher spec camera and price may be higher. Then next is optional letter. It can be one letter R means IR. If you put RVQP means IR extra vandal protection. Then it is a four sensor. P is for what is that? PTZ. There is a PTZ camera inside. It's a multi-direction. M means multi-direction. 4 quad sensor and with PTZ. Again, all try to reduce the number of letters. Okay, when you're doing a project, you might be tempted. For example, you will see REV IR, then E for extender, POE extender camera. It can power another camera, one camera powering another camera. Then extra vandal protection. All this is not required. Or RS, IR and stainless steel body, not required. So just go with the basic letter. But don't forget it. If you forget R, you will have a camera without IR. Okay. Now that's why to make it easier, you go to Toolbox Plus. Okay, so I have now clicked Toolbox Plus. We have 15 minutes for the class to be completed. Okay, once you launch into the Toolbox Plus, it is a web-based tool. Okay, you can change your project name here. You can give my project name ABC, and you can edit this. You can, I will show you how to save and everything. Because tomorrow, if you want to add one extra camera, you can save it and you can come back uh, and edit your project. So you don't have to worry, it will get saved. You have option to save it. Okay, now focus on how to use the toolbox. When you go to the toolbox, on the left side, click on network camera. Okay, then click on filter button, filter. Okay, now let's say I need a 5 megapixel bullet camera from Q series. It has 6 analytics, more than enough. Q series bullet camera, 5, sorry, bullet camera 5 megapixel. Okay, then there are so many options. Let's say I need, scroll down, adjustable lens. I have only one. Select it. The same thing, I need a dome camera. To remove bullet, make dome. I have now two options. How to decide? Add everything. Add the first one, add the second one. Then it is shown on the right side. Select the checkbox and you can compare. See, when you add both, you don't need both, but you will just add it so you can compare them. So I added both. There is a compare button. When you click compare, you will get the difference. So the difference is in orange. The first camera 30-meter IR. The first camera is aluminum metal housing. It is outdoor rating IP66. Vandal rating IK rating IK10. The second one is indoor camera, no IP rating, right? No IP, cannot be used for outdoor. It is plastic, used for indoor. No vandal protection. If you want IK, go with the first model. If you want 30-meter IR, go with the first one. Okay, so how do you compare? Select both, click on the compare button. That's how you compare, and the difference is in orange. Okay, so I'm happy with the first one. I go with it. Okay, next is, let's do a confusing model. 2 megapixel, let's say I need 15 analytics, sound analytics and everything from X series, dome camera. Here you will have so many options. Okay, now how do you decide? Look for version 0. Version 0. Okay, version 0 is there, but there is no R. IR is not there. Okay, click on filter again, scroll down, and you say I need IR. Okay, done. Okay, now version 0 and R, only look for those models, version 0 and R. Any extra letter, forget. L, leave it. 1, leave it. 3, leave it. 2, 3, 12x, leave it. 3, R and Z. Okay, Z means PTRZ. You remember the PTRZ Hanwa camera? The camera which you can remotely move the lens, that is called PTRZ. So that is referred as letter Z. You don't want it. Version 3 AI camera. Version 3 AI camera. RE POE extender camera not required. Stainless steel not required. Version 1 not required. RS stainless steel. 0R basic model with 15 analytics. Go with it. Okay. Then there is anything else? There's the L. Forget L. C also AI camera. AI camera. RV not required. REV not required. 0 RV not required. Again 0 R, there is one more option. Take this. Okay, now you compare both. What's the difference? 50-meter IR, 30-meter IR. Okay, if you need for indoor camera, 30 is enough. Yeah. Then the second one is IP67. It is outdoor rating, not required. So go with the second one. So this is how you quickly select your camera's model. Okay, so you say I need bullet, same thing. You just go with the basic version 0 and R. Okay, now let's make a PTZ camera. PTZ camera is also straightforward. You select PTZ and you select I want IR. Okay, then look for the 2-digit 30x. Okay, one more thing, resolution. Let's say 2 mega only. Done. 2 mega 37x, 2 mega 37x, 2 mega 32x, 40x, 40x with a wiper. There's wiper housing. 55x. So let's say I want the highest, 55x. Done. Next, I need a multi-sensor camera. Select multi-direction camera. From here you can decide there are two sensor, 2 into 2 megapixel, 6 megapixel into 2, 10 to 22. That means when it says 10 to 22, that means you can customize. Okay, I will explain that later. 5 into 4, 4 sensor is there, each is 5 mega. Okay, here there are 4 sensors, total each is 2, total 8 mega. Okay, you will find here sometimes 2/5, 2/5. Okay, I'm going to add this. There is 4 sensor, but the sensor you can customize. So I will add and click on, you just follow my mouse, click on lens. Okay, now 4 lenses are there. You can choose lens 1, 2 megapixel, 2.4 mm. Lens 2, 2 mega, 6 mm. Lens 3, 5 mega, 3 mm. So you can choose. If you don't want to choose one lens, it's okay, it's optional, it's up to you. Okay, done. Now after this, let's say you want to select the mounting of the camera. Click on accessory, ACC, click on accessory, right? Then select the type. I want to mount it on the pole. Automatically the accessories will be selected for you. These adapters are required to mount the camera on the pole. So purple is this adapter, pole adapter is the yellow one. I want to mount the PTZ camera also on the wall. Select wall mount adapter. If you want a back box, you can select back box also. Okay, done. Now after doing all this, you can save your project. So tomorrow if you want to add a camera, just open this file, it will be added. Calculate. My project will have at least 500 camera, so I'm going to enter 100 and 50 camera each, 10 camera. Okay, done. Around 400 cameras I have. Let's make it 500. Okay, done. Okay, so 460 cameras, but here there are 4 channels. This is a 4-channel camera. That's why 490 channel, because that is equivalent to recording 4 separate cameras, right? So 4 channel. Now storage for 7 days is 80 terabyte. Okay, let's say I'm recording for 90 days, or let's say I'm recording 30 days. Enter that. If you want some spare, 20% spare, 38 days. So you can record accordingly. Now more options are available. Let's say storage is 300 terabyte. Let's say I want to edit further. Click on settings, change to H265 for better storage compression. You can edit the frame rate. Maybe the regulation says only record 10 frames. You can record 10 frames. Then also the resolution you can record for 2 megapixel. Then recording setup. There are some settings here. First two you can skip. Most of them are by default, it's okay. Edit the schedule. You see green and red. Green is continuous recording. Red is motion recording. But if you take Dubai or Saudi or some part of the countries, by specification, you have to record full-time green, full-time continuous. So click setup, change to continuous. For Kuwait, full-time on motion. And it is mentioned in the spec 50%. So Kuwait, you have to do this, but for other regions, continuous. Okay, now go back. Okay, I have a question on box camera. It's the same thing for box. Let's say, let's take this camera or this one. You have to select lens. It's not here. In that case, you have to check with our team or the datasheet. The lens will be mentioned. For some models, you will find it. So certain models, we have the lens listed here. For the others, I think we are recommending a third-party lens for these. So we have tested models. We will suggest it for you. Okay. All right. And our distributor can supply both together for you. Okay. Next is your storage. So edit for each camera. Click on the settings, H.265, resolution, frame rate for recording. If you want to record full frame, make it 30. If you want to record 25, make it 25. If you want to record 12, make it 12. It's up to you. Then voice stream. Do you remember that when there is no activity, the bandwidth will automatically reduce? So that feature is voice stream. Okay, so low means 10%, medium means 30%, high means 50%. If the scene you are expecting per day, 10% of the time activity is not there. 30% of the time activity is not there. What is 30% of 24 hours? 6 hours. It is almost shutdown time. 50%, 12 hours, the example school. It is closed for half the day, right? After 3 o'clock, it is closed till the next day morning. So there you can use high. Offices, almost 12 hours from evening 6 or 7 to next day morning 6, it is shut down. You can put high. So bandwidth will automatically reduce 50% of the day. It is voice stream. So you can choose accordingly. If you are not sure, you can go with medium for most projects. Okay, it will reduce the bandwidth even further. Make it continuous. Frame rate H.265. When the light is on off, actually it's not required. It's not going to make a big impact. Even scene, this scene already it's 100%. So we are not any doing any manipulation of any kind. We are not taking risk here. Just leave it as it is. Okay. The recording schedule you must do according to your spec. Voice stream you can use, definitely helps almost every project there is some active low no activity at the night time, so you can make use of this. All right, now click on the report button, third button. You will get a nice bandwidth report with all the camera, how much of storage, what is the camera details, what is the settings, which all accessories, BOQ of cameras and adapters. You can take a Excel sheet report or PDF report you can take. Okay. Next is in the next class we will see how to do NVR. So depending on the number of camera, you will select the recording server and just add it. Simple as that. Okay. When you add here, it will come to the NVR. You will edit the quantity accordingly. You will choose the hard disk accordingly, and then that's it. Your number of camera servers is completed. Okay, so we will see that one in the next class. So today, this part of the class is completed. You can expect an email from me with the PowerPoint with an exam link to do the exam. So as soon as you register for the exam, you can take 1 to 2 weeks to practice and then do the exam. It's okay, no problem. You can refer or go through the recording of the class again and then do the exam, no problem. Okay, so we'll give you the exam link. When you're ready, just go register, you will see, as soon as you register, you will see the exam link. Okay, and then click on the link and attempt it. That's it. So once it is completed, 70% is the passing score. By once the exam due date is completed, I think early next month you will receive the certification by email. So it is done on a monthly basis. All the certifications are each issued in a monthly batch. So this month will be issued in the first week of next month, and it will be emailed to you. If you didn't get it, if you scored 70%, still did not get after the first week of June, just drop me an email. I will be able to assist further. All right, so if there are any further questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, the session is completed for the day. Yeah. So I have a question. Yes, thanks for that. Yeah, I have a question. I need a camera with 10 to 22 mm. There is a model. You see the lens is 09, 10 to 29. Actually, even more affordable than this is we have the just 12. This is the most selling camera for 5 to 50. You don't have to worry 10 to 9. You get 5 to 50 at a much better pricing. It's called XNV6120R. Select this. You can compare. A normal camera is what 2.8 to 12. 09 is 10 to 29. This is 5 to 60 mm. If you want, it has AI or option also. 6123. That is AI 5 to 60. This is much flexible for you. You can use in all the entrances this camera, and also better priced compared to a higher megapixel. Okay, next is what is the performance of multi-sensor camera? How can you place compared to other cameras? Okay, so we were one of the first ones to have multi-sensor camera with the artificial intelligence. Then also we have a PTRZ function in the multi-sensor camera. So let's go back here. PTRZ function, which means once you put the multi-sensor camera on the ceiling, these guys, PNM9085, you can remotely adjust the lens as you please. Move it up, right, left, down, rotate the lens. Each sensor will have 15 analytics, and you can get 4 SD cards. You have a Y stream on each of them, and it's IR. IR also will move along with the lens. If you move the lens to the left, IR also will move. So PNM 9085, PNM 9085 R. See this one. Okay, so each lens is 4 to 9 mm motorized, and remotely you can move the lens up and down. Then R is there, so integrated IR that rotates with the camera head with 30-meter. These are all you will not find in many brands. Okay, so this is a very powerful camera that way. and single license, only one license required, even if it is having four sensor. Okay. What is the benefit of Ystream? Okay, Ystream simply see it simply reduces the bandwidth of the camera in a very special way. Okay, daytime, nighttime doesn't matter. It will reduce the bandwidth of the camera. Let me just show that slide once again. So this is taken from our camera actually, 6 megapixel camera with the Ystream activated daytime. Okay, a lot of details in the scene. There is a lot of trees. It's a complex scene, but still the bandwidth consumption is only zero point 0.1 Mbps. Okay, you can make it zero point 0.2, round it up. But without Ystream, of course, a 6 mega will take at least 4 Mbps. Okay, so that's the power of Ystream. So you can get a good amount of storage when there is no activity, because many scenes are not that active. Because today in CCTV we put cameras in every corner, right? But a building will have only, say a building has 500 camera, but there is only two or three entrances. That's where people come. But rest of the area for security, you have to put in the back door, you have to put in the staircase, you have to put in the roof, and they are simply recording 4 Mbps. What's the point? That's why Ystream helps to reduce the storage. Once you reduce the bandwidth, storage also will be automatically reduced. So if you go back to the storage calculation, so let's say if I take one camera, I will take a 6 megapixel camera. Okay. Now, a traditional camera, let's say, will take for 30 days, one camera and continuous recording around 2.5 terabyte. Okay. Now, 2.5 terabyte. If I make H265, it reduced to 1.6. If I make a Hawaii stream high or low or medium, so again, I from that 1.6, I'm saving, it is now 1 terabyte, Ystream high. If you're not sure, you go with Ystream medium 1.3. So you will save storage because you know this particular batch of camera is not in that very high active areas. So, so if you have 100 cameras, you can just make a copy. 99, 95 cameras are with Ystream. Maybe 5 cameras you don't want to put Ystream, no problem. You don't have to set Ystream there. Maybe at the main entrance, or it is 24 hours there is activity. You don't have to put Ystream. Yeah, so when you do factory default, by default, it goes to the secure by default mode. So yeah, Mohammed, Wahabuddin, yeah, you can unmute and ask your question. So your question was if you factory default the camera, it goes to the most secure settings by default. That is true. Okay, is there any further questions? All right. So if there are no further questions, we can disconnect the session. So please expect an email from me with the PowerPoint link as well as the exam link. You can attempt the exam within the next 2 weeks. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye bye. Bye. Cheers.